right, North America, let's face it. The Boston Celtics are the Milwaukee Bucks kryptonite. The Philadelphia 76ers are the Boston Celtics kryptonite. It leaves us with a bit of an enigma if we're trying to figure out who's going to come out of the Eastern Conference this season and make it to the NBA Finals. I am Dave DeBon. Thanks so much for tuning into First Dab. This show is hopefully is going to be about 5 minutes long. Do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe, and of course, like this video. All right, enough with the groveling. I should note that I was actually going to start the show out by talking about Kyrie Irving and the Dallas Mavericks, but that game is still going on. It just went into overtime against the Atlanta Hawks in the ATL. To the Eastern Conference we go. Everybody's talking about the Wild Wild West. I think the Eastern Conference is also very intriguing, at least up at the top. And when you think about the Milwaukee Bucks, and you think about what the Boston Celtics did to them the other day, I do not see the Milwaukee Bucks being able to actually beat that Boston Celtic team, assuming everybody stays healthy, in a 7-game series. Now, as for the Philadelphia 76ers being the Boston Celtics kryptonite, that is something that I think the Celtics can actually overcome. I talked a little bit about Jason Tatum before, and how I thought he should be definitely involved in the most valuable player discussion and isn't for some strange, bizarre reason. I mean, 30 points a game when you have another superstar on your team is super impressive. So when I look at the Celtic team, I think they're actually better than they were last year. I think they're smarter, they're stronger, and they figured out how to play more and more like a team. They're able to adjust to different styles of play, something that the Milwaukee Bucks struggle with when they have to play the Boston Celtics. Once again, 7-game series. It would probably go 6 or 7 games in a Bucks Boston Celtic Eastern Conference final, but I would put my money on the Boston Celtics. Now, moving on to the Western Conference, the Wild Wild West. My Minnesota Timberwolves did it again. They lost for the 3rd time in a row. This time they lost at home on a Sunday afternoon to a team that they shouldn't have lost to. Look, I recognize 2 players on the Portland Trailblazers today, and the other 3 starters on the Portland Trailblazers, one of them was on a 10-day. The other 2 have been retreaded in and out of so many teams, I've lost count. And yet the Timberwolves found a way to lose that game. Now, look, they'll probably make the play-in, but that's about it. And so when you look at the Western Conference standings as of right now, and once again, the Dallas Mavericks are playing Atlanta. They're in overtime. The Mavericks are currently sitting in 11th spot. They absolutely need to get this win. Atlanta is still going to make the play-in on their end. But when you look at the Western Conference and how things are starting to sort of shake out, if you have to play the Memphis Grizzlies early in the playoffs, that could be trouble. I do not believe in the Denver Nuggets. I just don't. And the Phoenix Suns, to me, is still too early to tell. And it's not like you can go out on a limb and pick the Sacramento Kings to go deep into the Western Conference playoffs. So that leaves you with the experience of the Golden State Warriors, who are 6-4 in their last 10. All sorts of rumors that Andrew Wiggins has re-entered the San Francisco Bay Area. I've yet to actually see that, but we'll see if that's true a little later in the day. The Pelicans are a scary basketball team. I'm not saying they're going to come out of the West, but I think when you look at this, the Lakers, the Warriors, and possibly the Suns and the Grizzlies are the teams to look at coming out of the Western Conference. I just don't believe in this Denver Nugget team at all. I think they're a good regular season team, but the NBA playoffs, as we all know, are completely different. Now, I wanted to spend the last couple minutes of today's show of the first stab. This is official episode number 2 on Kyrie Irving and the Dallas Mavericks, despite what happens in overtime in Atlanta. Going into overtime, Kyrie had 39 points. There were 16 seconds left in the game, and we've all seen the videos. I think I even did one of tired Luka Doncic, and that is exactly what happened at the end of the game. He dribbled the ball up with 16 seconds to go and just decided he wasn't going to be responsible for what happened for the team. They were down by 2 at that point. He decided, I am not going to be responsible. And he passed the ball to Christian Wood on the far left wing, who proceeded to, drive in. Eventually he got fouled. He made 1 out of 2. There's just a bunch of stuff. There was another foul on JaVale McGee, which was a terrible foul by the Atlanta Hawks that put that game into overtime. But still, the point I would make is that Luka shied away from taking the shot. Kyrie Irving was nowhere to be seen in that play as well, and he didn't even bother looking for Kyrie. Now, once again, heading into overtime, Luka had 22, Kyrie had 39. You cannot blame this all on Kyrie Irving and the destruction and the mass failure of the Dallas Mavericks. It has been very difficult to watch, especially if you're a Mavs fan. Look, I don't think you can look at the scorched earth of Kyrie Irving, and I didn't really think that Kyrie Irving was going to make a huge difference for this Dallas Mavericks team anyways. He would need to be on a team with some more experienced veterans that have been to the promised land a couple times and might be interested in wearing a yellow and purple uniform in Los Angeles. I mean, rumor has it that Kyrie Irving's furniture has already been shipped to the Los Angeles metropolitan area. Look, this was a terrible decision by the Dallas Mavericks to give up as much as they gave up to bring Kyrie in. I didn't have a problem with them bringing Kyrie in. I just had a problem with how much they gave up. All right. That is it for episode number 2 of First Dab. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button. And of course, like this video. Appreciate everybody out there watching, and have yourself a fantastic rest of your sports day.